It seems from the early returns in women's college golf that there are 5 super teams and 3 of them will be action beginning Friday when Bryn Walker and North Carolina play host for the Ruth's Chris Tarhell Invitational. Arkansas and Alabama, number 1 and 2, respectively in the latest Golf Week rankings, and Duke are in the field at the University of North Carolina's Finley Golf Course in Chapel Hill, NC. They would be 3 of what I would call the super teams. Stanford would be the 4th and the 5th would be Texas. I'm basing this on sheer talent, but golf is never that simple, and, as I mentioned last week, there is no guarantee that any of these teams return from the mid-season break in February completely intact. Texas played host to its annual fall tournament, the Betsy Rawls Longhorn Invitational, earlier this week and for the 8th time, but only the first time since 2011. The homestanding Longhorns claimed the team title. The Betsy Rawls wrapped up Tuesday. They were led by reigning U.S. Women's Amateur champion Sophia Schubert, a senior from Oak Ridge. 10. Schubert was a very good player as a junior, but the confidence boost you get from winning an event of the stature of the U.S. Amateur has clearly taken Schubert's game to another level. Schubert had rounds of 69, 70 and 71 over the 6,491-yard, par 72 University of Texas Golf Club layout in Austin, Texas for a 6-under 210 total. That was 4 shots better than her teammate Emily Hoffman, a sophomore from Folsom, Calif, who opened strong with rounds of 71 and 67 in Monday's double round, but fell back a little with a 4 over 76 in the final round. The 12 finish by Schubert and Hoffman enabled the Longhorns to finish with a 2 over 866 total. That was 15 shots better than runner-up Furman. The Longhorns were under par in each of Monday's rounds, opening with a 2 under 286 and adding a 6 under 282 in the second round before falling back with a 10 over 298 in the final round. Furman had the best round of the day Tuesday, a 1 over 289 that enabled the Paladins to charge up the leaderboard to finish second at 17 over 881. Reigning national champion Arizona State, which might argue for its inclusion in the group of super teams, was another shot behind Furman in third at 18 over 882 after a final round of 301. Houston finished 4th at 26 over 890 after a final round 300, and UNLV took 5th in the 15-team field with a 35 over total of 899 after a final round 309. Texas had 2 other members of its starting 5 in the top 20 in the individual standings, as Caitlin Papp, the talented homegrown freshman from Austin, finished tied for 16th at 5 over 221 with steady rounds of 74, 73 and 74, and Greta Isabella Voker, a sophomore from Germany, finished tied for 18th at 6 over 222 with a pair of even par 72s in Monday's double round and a final round 78. Texas other freshman phenom, Agatha Len, the Frenchwoman who claimed the European Ladies Championship last summer, finished tied for 28th at 8 over 224 after a final round of 5 over 77. Texas also showed its depth with a couple of solid showings from players competing as individuals. Marin Sapala, a sophomore from Lewiston, NY, finished tied for 24th at 7 over 223, highlighted by a 3 under 69 in Monday's afternoon round, and Maddie Lutwiler, a junior from Katy, Texas, who finished tied for 35th at 227 after opening with an even par 72. Furman, like Arizona State and probably a dozen other teams, isn't so far behind my 5 super teams that the Paladins can't beat any team in the country in any given tournament. Furman was led by Haley Harford, a junior from Leavittsburg, Ohio, and Natalie Srinivasan, a sophomore from Spartanburg, South Carolina, who finished 3rd and 4th, respectively. Harford had steady rounds of 73, 70 and 72 to finish at 1 under 215, while Srinivasan, after opening with a 2 over 74, had a pair of 1 under 71s to finish at even par 216. Srinivasan was coming off a tie for 3rd against an elite field in the Annika Intercollegiate, presented by 3M. She helped Furman finish tied for 4th with Texas in the team standings in the Annika. Houston's Leonie Harm, a junior from Germany, finished alone in 5th at 1 over 217 after finishing up with a 1 over 73. 2 of the 4 players who finished in the group tied for 6th at 2 over 218 were members of the Great Britain-Ireland team that defeated the United States in the 2016 Curtis Cup match. Clemson's Alice Hewson, a junior from the United Kingdom, led the Betsy Rawls with rounds of 70 and 67 in Monday's double round before falling back with an 81 in the final round. Arizona State's Olivia Mahaffey, a sophomore from Ireland, sandwiched an even par 72 in the middle round with a pair of 73s as the GBI standouts both landed at 218. They were joined at that figure by San Diego State's Sarah Kjellker, a freshman from Sweden who had a final round of even par 72, and UNLV's Polly Mack, a freshman from Germany who also finished up with an even par 72.